Hi, this is Jonathan with Fishing with Faith Outdoors. Day 4, and we're gonna fish these ponds by the road here. I've caught some big bass out of here, so y'all stay tuned and we'll see what we can get today. Welcome back, folks. So we're at these ponds by the little country road over here, close to where I live at, and just see what they do, because I done fished PFA 3 days in a row and only got one bite there. And that's, man, I tell you, PFAs, them little ponds and lakes like that get a lot of pressure, and they fill them things up with shad, and they feed the fish with the fish feeders. They're just tough to fish, and people that go out and fish them, that catch big fish, either get them on live bait or just happen to run across one and catch it on something completely bizarre. So I mean, they're tough lakes. But these little ponds and stuff like this, well, this one gets a little bit of pressure because you can only fish this one off the side of the road. You can't necessarily walk around or put a boat in here. So, but I've caught some big fish out of this pond and that pond across the road over there, across from it anyway. But anyway, I just didn't get any bites yesterday. I fished a total different side of the lake, and where I wanted to fish there was a boat, and I could have went over there and fished, but I wanted to try the other side. But it's just one of them deals. So, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna try this spinnerbait for a minute because there's a little bit of wind blowing, and you never know. Never know what. The water's a little dirty, so we're gonna try this one out. This is a Booyah. It's got a little orange kicker and a Colorado blades, good for muddy water and cold water. That little orange blade, and that Colorado blade, puts off a lot of thump because it's a bigger blade. It ain't like a little willow leaf blade. But anyway, we're gonna fish this thing, kind of slow roll it on the bottom a little bit and see what happens. If not, I got a Texas rig. Can't go wrong with a Texas rig, and if they don't bite that, then either I don't know how to fish or the fish ain't biting. So either way, we're gonna try this thing. And if y'all would like and subscribe to the channel, if y'all are enjoying this kind of content where I can do like a day by day fishing videos, just to give you an idea of what I go through as an everyday get up, go to work, supporting a family fisherman does. And I tell you, and I ain't as good as most people, but I've caught a lot of bass this year. Oh, look, there's a little brim swimming around. A little brim. So that's bait fish in the shallow right there. So that's a telltale. Wherever there's bait fish, there's gonna be bass. But anyway, but I've caught a lot of bass this year. This past summer, spring, and into the fall. Just mainly on a shaky head, chatterbait, and a Texas rig. Not a whole lot on a spinnerbait, maybe because I didn't throw it as much as I should have. But this pond here, I caught a lot of big fish on the chatterbait, but I lost a lot of chatterbait in this pond too because there's a lot of timber in there. But anyway, if y'all like this kind of content, please leave a like or say something. I don't know what y'all want to see. I'm just gonna put stuff out there that I think is gonna work. But I kind of like this series deal because it kind of gives you an idea of what I do and what I go through doing it. So, but anyway, we're gonna keep doing this and see what happens. Y'all stay tuned. There he is, boys. There he is. Oh, yes. That's a nice one. Oh, yeah. It's a nice one. It's a nice one. I tell you. Old Texas rig. That's what I'm talking about. Look at there. About 2 pound bass right there. Look at the hooks in there. It's a nice one. I felt him thump it, and I had to let him take it for a minute so I can get my camera cut on. There you go. About a 2 pound bass. It's nice. It's probably about a pound and a half. It's a nice one. All right. Ponds pay off, man. They pay off. Catching that big old bass while all these people riding by, they're probably thinking, dang, there's fish in that pond. I'm gonna fish it now. Now it's gonna get so much pressure. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's not a public pond, it's a private pond, but I was told you can fish it from the road. Just don't be walking around the pond or trying to put a boat or anything in there, which sucks, but just how it is. Just how it is. Got a lot of pay ponds in this area too that I go fish that you can pay to fish. A lot of people don't want nobody fishing their ponds, which I understand it, because you let some people in, they bring their cousins, grandma, aunts, and uncles, and next thing you know, they're leaving trash and fishing it out and just disrespecting the privilege of, you know, man, that water's cold, of fishing on somebody's land, and people just don't let them do it because they just, you know, it takes 1 or 2 and it's over with, because it's just how it is. But anyway, yes. All right, so we're gonna keep fishing this Texas rig and the spinnerbait and see what happens. So that's one. See how many more we can get. So I failed to show you what I was using. So my Texas rig setup is a medium heavy Berkeley amp rod with a 13 fishing 7:3 to 1 gear ratio reel. See that right there, and got it on 15 pound P line, fluorocarbon coated line. I like this line. I'm trying it out, trying to see how much memory it holds before. I don't know, I've been going between lines trying to figure out what I like. But anyway, you know, just an offset worm hook, 1/4 ounce, I think it's a 1/4 ounce, bullet weight, and this is a 6 cents shaky worm. That may not be the best looking. Fix that. This is a really good worm. I like it. It doesn't have, I don't think it has any salt in it at all, because it floats. This bait floats, and it's made for shaky head style hooks, but I'll Texas rig it like a, you know, like a regular worm. So it sits in the water, and when you drag it along, this thing will float. You know what I'm saying? So you hop it along, this thing will, you know, float and slowly sink down. So you might have a little bit of salt in it. It'll slowly sink down. Then you hop it and this tail stays up. So really good presentation in the water. I've got a lot of bites on it, on a shaky head, and just caught that bass a minute ago on it, Texas rig. So 6 cent shaky worm, get them at Academy or Tackle Warehouse. So yeah, well, gotta promote a little something. Show you what I use and what I like. So, but anyway, that's the gist on that. And drag it real slow, hop it real fast, drag it real fast. Just do whatever it takes to see what gets a bite. And just because it's cold water doesn't mean their fish are going to be chasing slow stuff. You know, just messing around with it. Don't worry about all the in particulars, the science. Just fish, man. Just get out there and fish. Start out fast. You don't get bites, and go slow. If they're not hitting nothing when you're moving slow, then kind of, you know, put it in between. If they're hungry, they're going to eat, you know. So anyway, that's my setup. See what else we'd get. Hopefully get something again. We will see. Fishing this log. I had one bite me one time right here, man. It drove me up under a limb and all broke me off and everything. It was a nice one. I got a 6-pounder out of here one time over yonder, about where my truck is. But I was gonna point out something that was cool. There's about a 6-foot alligator that stays out there, and I watched him all summer swim back and forth out there. And so if you're down here in the Eastman Dodge County area, Georgia, there are alligators. I noticed on my other reel here, make sure you check your drag. It was loose, and you go to second hook and it just dragging line. You don't get a good hook set, or fish gets off. Make sure you check your drag. Make sure that your drag is compatible to the weight of your bait, you know, or the technique you're using. Texas rig, I generally have a little bit tighter than normal. Treble hooks or spinner baits, I don't want it too tight because I don't want to pull the hook out of its mouth. So, but anything you're having to set the hook in, you know, there's a technique on how to set the drag. I don't necessarily know how to do that. I just know that I'll, you know, I don't know. Let's see if I can show you real quick. Let me loosen it up a little bit. All right, see that? See how easy I'm pulling that? That's a little too. All right, so let's go down. So say like I'm got crankbait or a spinnerbait or chatterbait. A little bit more, about like that. See how easy I'm pulling that? All right, now Texas rig. A little bit more. All right, see that? I'm really having to pull it. That's about where I want it. Maybe just a click or two less. About like that. Because when I set the hook, I don't want it to snatch any drag. Might a little tad bit less. All right, there we go, right there. All right. I don't want to snatch any drag when I set the hook. But you don't want to yank their jaw off setting the hook like some of these guys do. I don't understand people, man. They act like they got to snatch the lip clean off a bass. The technology and how they sharpen hooks now, you can barely drop a hook in your hand and it'll stab your hand. I mean, you don't have to set the hook that hard. You can just kind of lean back in them and it'll set the hook. You know, the weight of the fish will push the hook, and the weight of you pushing against that fish's mouth with the hook will set the hook. You know, Texas rig, just a sweep. Just a good clean sweep. Anything with treble hooks or spinnerbait, chatterbait, just don't, not like this, like you do it, you know what I'm saying? That's how I do a Texas rig. I'll just kind of lean into them like that. Now, if I'm doing a chatterbait, like chatterbait, spinnerbait, anything with treble hooks, just lean into them like that. That's all you got to do. That is all you got to do. And that's how you do that. So, but once I get a fish on and it feels pretty darn heavy, I'll loosen the drag up so he'll pull some line. That way I won't be ripping a hole in his mouth, and I won't pull treble hooks out of his mouth. So that's the gist of that little tip. So You just got to fish. You got to catch fish and fish to get the hang of it. You ain't gonna get out there. Oh, I said this and this and this, and oh, wait a minute, that didn't work. You got to experience the feel, what it feels like, in order to get the gist of what you need to do. So, but anyway, one fish so far. Hopefully, we can get a couple more before the sun goes down. So, y'all just hang in there. Hopefully, we'll be on fish catch soon. Oh, he was running with it. He was running with it. He picked it up and dropped it. See if I can get him again. I just felt a little thump. Thump. And I seen my line move. And when I set the hook, it pulled it out of his mouth. They'll do that. They'll just swim over there and just go boop. They'll just swim and go boop and swim off. And if you give them a second, like I should have done, hit a price, hit it again to position it back in his mouth. Now I snatched it out of his mouth, probably spooked him, but we'll see. We'll see. He was right there. We'll see. One fish so far. There's fish busting all across the bank. This side and the other side of the pond. Of the road, I should say. Chasing bait, so. They're active. Probably not extremely active, but they're active enough they're chasing bait. So did have that cold front push in this morning after that rain, so it kind of messed one a little bit, I imagine, but just don't give up. Don't give up. Oh, we got him. Man, yes. There it is, boys. I tell you, don't give up. Don't give up. We got him. We got him. Yeah. Just a little rascal. But hang on, come here. Oh, man, yeah. There it is. There it is. I figured they'll strike, hitting on bait. Yeah, little rascal. But hey, that's a fish. That's a fish. That is a fish. Oh, man. Ooh, that water's cold. Let's see. So I went and this is a Strike King. What is this thing? I can't remember. Rage bug, I believe is what it's called. And I figured it was busting on bait, so I figured, well, if I move something slow that mimics, like a crawfish and a bluegill, if they're busting on bait across the bottom, and the water's kind of front of it broke up. The water's kind of dingy, whatever, and it's getting dark, so I didn't want something that had a little kick to it. And this thing puts off a little kick, mimics, some stuff. So you can always try that, and yeah, that paid off. It probably would have hit that worm, but these little tails got these little ridges on them. And they kick in the water and they give a little vibration, that off-color water, muddy waters and stuff, and even the clear water, just use a natural color. But this has got green and June bug or purple or something with some green flakes, so mimic a bluegill or crawfish. And got it done, man. Got it done. So yeah, coming here paid off. I could have spent $5 or spent $5 going to the pay ponds I usually fish at, but I'll do those tomorrow. $5 for about an hour and a half, 2 hours really ain't worth the money. You need to spend at least 4 hours to do that. So, but this is free, and all I do is pull up and cast. So, all right, well, it's about to get dark. I'm gonna cast around a little bit and see if we can't get another one. And if not, we're gonna try it tomorrow. I gotta go to work Sunday, so we're leaving out of town for a few hours. So we're leaving tomorrow after lunch to go get the hotel room and work Sunday until we're done. They come home that evening or that night, depending on what the conditions are where we're doing the job at. So, all right, well, let's see if we can't get another one before we leave. Well, I think that's going to be it. It's getting late. And, you know, as soon as I say that, I should make one more cast. Where should I make it? You know what? I'm going to do right through here. One more. Hail Mary. And I'll stay on the line with y'all while I fish this. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching. Again, like and subscribe. And definitely like these videos if this is something you're interested in. But, you know, then again, I probably still do it just because I enjoy doing it. You know, take a couple of weeks out of the month and film, you know, a whole week or maybe 2 weeks, all depending on how it goes. Sometimes it won't be a whole week because work schedule and maybe working somewhere where I'm not able to get off work in time to go. But during the summertime now, it's going to be different. When the time changes, it'll be a little different. So, but anyway, kind of give you an idea on things I go through and stuff I use. But anyway, I already covered all that, so we ain't gonna beat that dead horse. Yeah, all right. Well, I know it's always one more cast. Always. This is the last cast. I gotta go home and see about what we're doing for supper and get ready for in the morning. So in the morning, it's gonna be day 5, and that's gonna be good, I hope, because I actually gonna go to some pay ponds and fish. One I haven't been to, and one I caught some dinks I love, but heck, a dink is better than nothing. Like I said, I like catching on 1 and 2 pounders, and let's see, 1.5s all the way up to 4 to me are the funnest. I've caught 5 and 6, and they pull hard, but them juveniles, man, I call them teenage fish. Anything that's over a pound, teenage year fish, in my opinion. They just fight, because you know how them teenagers are. They'll fight. But anyway, all right, well, that's going to be all, folks. I appreciate y'all watching. And until day 5, if that's tomorrow. If it ain't tomorrow, then when day 5 comes, we'll see you then. Thanks, and God bless.